So, first one, 24x plus 12y. Ladies and gents, you have to look at the variables and the coefficients. You cannot just look at one without the other. So you have to be looking, stop talking and listen because I am recording and I really don't want to have to be stopping every 5 minutes so that you're listening.
I'm sorry.
All right, you have a 24 and a 12. No excuses. Everybody in this room should be able to tell me the largest number that will divide evenly into 24 and 12. 12. Now, look at the rest of the terms. Do they have any variables in common?
No.
No. One has an x, one has a y. In order to be common, they have to be the same variable. They do not have to have the same exponent, but they have to be the same variable. They do not have the same variables in common, so therefore there is no variable part as part of your greatest common factor. So now you're ready to just do the division. You're unmultiplying, undistributing. So now you're taking 24 and you're dividing it by 12. We don't need calculators for that.
2.
The x didn't go anywhere because we're not dividing anything other than the numbers, the coefficients. 12 divided by 12. 1. There you go. It's done.
Yay.
Nothing more to it. So number 2. We've got 16. X to the third plus 12. X squared plus 4x. Now, you've got to look at every single term and not just the numerical part. Numerically, is there a number that will divide evenly into 16, 12, and 4? Because it has to work for all three. 4. What else do all three terms have in common? X. Okay. So you have an x in common. This is telling you how many x's that particular term has. X to the third means x times x times x. There are 3 x's in that problem. There are 2 here. How many in this last one? 1. All right. So you have a group of 3, a group of 2, and a group of 1. To take out the greatest common factor, you need to be able to take away that particular number of x's from each group. Can I take 3 x's from this group up here?
No, you can take one from each.
No. He doesn't have 3 x's to take, so x to the third wouldn't be your greatest common factor. So how many at most can I divide or take away from each group? 1. There's your greatest common factor. So you're taking 4x and you're dividing it into not 1 term, not 2 terms, but
3 terms.
which means there better be 3 terms left inside that set of parentheses. So if you take 16, divide it by 4, you're left with 4. You have x to the third. You're taking away. Taking away means to do what? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Subtract. You're taking away 1x. How many x's are left? 2. There's your x squared. 12 divided by 4. 3. X squared. You're taking away 1 of them. So what's left? 1 of them. X. Now, 4x divided by 4x. 1. It is not x, it's 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. It is not 0. You cannot divide something and get 0 unless you're dividing into 0. So 4x divided by 4x is equal to 1. Anything divided by itself. You need to have those 3 terms because remember I said you should be able to take the number or variables and such outside and distribute it and get the original answer. So that is your answer to that problem. All right, next one. So negative 3x squared, y minus 15xy cubed. Now, there are some places for you to have some different answers in this one, only because of the fact that there's a negative. If you see a negative in front, I'm going to go with the rule that we are going to factor out a negative. I like my first term and my final answer to have that positive thing inside the parentheses. So what is common that can be divided out of negative 3 and negative 15?
3.
We're going to take out a negative 3. What else do they both have in common? X's. How many x's can I take away from each group? 1. All right, what else do they have in common?
Y.
Y's. They both have to have a y. Again, the exponent part doesn't matter. The variable part's the important part. How many y's can I take away? 1. Where are you getting 2?
Oh,
He's only got 1.
I thought it said Y too.
All right, now you're doing that division. A -3 divided by a -3. 1. You have x squared. You're taking away one of the x's. What's left?
1.
All right, so one of the x's, not just a 1. An x to the first power is left. The y, you're taking away a y. How many y's are left?
1.
None of them.
None of them.
0.
Guys, you had a y. You're taking one of the y's out. Y divided by y equals what? 1. Anything divided by itself equals 1. Not y to the first, it equals 1. So then, -15 divided by -3. Yes, +5. You had an x, you're taking an x away. Are there any x's left? No, they're gone. There are 3 y's here. You're taking away one of them. How many are left?
2.
Again, make sure you look to see what's left inside. Make sure there are no common factors left, and you should probably be in a good place. Yes, ma'am?
Does it matter if you switched it into the negatives as the ones inside the parentheses?
No, if you did this and you had this as an answer, you are correct. This answer, though, up here is actually going to be more useful for us, though, in a little bit. Okay? Just it's going to be more helpful. It's not incorrect. It's just going to be more helpful. Yes?
It doesn't matter if you put a 1 in front of the x, does it?
No, it does not. All right. Let's keep going. So number 4. I've got 2x squared plus 4x minus 18. All 3 terms can be divided by what? 2. They do not all have an x in common, so x is not part of your GCF. So now divide everybody by 2. That should be what's left, yes? All right. So then, moving right along. Okay. Oop, there we go. So I've got a, b squared, c minus 3a squared, b. All right, what do they both have in common? A's. B's. Do they have c's in common? No. All right, how many a's can I take from each group? 1. How many b's? 1. Again, when it comes to the variables, you're taking away, which means you're subtracting the exponents. So I've got an a, I'm taking away a. Are there any a's left in the first term? No, the a's are gone. A divided by itself gives you 1. Not a to the first, it gives you 1. How many b's are left?
1.
Yep, b to the first. What about the c?
1.
Yep, it's still there. 3 is not getting touched. What's left out with the 3? There you go, done. All right, so number 6, last one. -2x plus 10. Now, again, I like to, because of the fact that that's a -2, I'm going to factor out a negative. What is the negative number that will come out of that?
2.
You divide that out. Negative divided by negative leaves you with a positive. Positive 10 divided by -2 leaves you with? So if you have this, you're good. If you have written down 2 -x plus 5, you're still okay. That answer is still correct. Okay. All right.